freedom of movement with the lower body without pushing your body into more force and more strain into your low back. So again, you're going to lie face down, hips over the top of a pillow or a bolster. Have both elbows out wide. Your forehead will go back onto the back of the hands. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to take that leg that is bent out to the side of the yoga mat. And we're going to allow this lower leg just to rotate back and forth, going towards the leg that is straight, then back up to neutral, and then take that foot and lower leg to the outside, not allowing your pelvis to move. You're trying to keep your whole body still. The only thing moving is the leg, back to neutral, taking it across. When you take it across, that same side pelvis likes to lift. When you go back to neutral, and you take that foot and lower leg to the outside, the opposite side pelvis likes to roll up, but try to maintain it in contact with that pillow or the bolster. Just a nice gentle motion of hip external, back to neutral, hip internal. Bring that leg back in, extend that leg out. We'll bend the other leg. Take that thigh and knee out to the side of the yoga mat. And just nice gentle motion, allowing that foot and lower leg to fall back towards the leg that is extended. Hip external. Back to neutral. Take that foot and lower leg out. Try and keep that opposite side hip and pelvis into the floor. Back to neutral. Just nice gentle motion, finding out, do you have any issues or places along this path of motion that has more sensitivity, any popping, any tightness. Back to neutral. We're going to do each position 2 more times. Having that leg externally rotated, foot going across towards the opposite leg. Back to neutral. Out. Again, we're trying to keep the rest of your body from moving. Back to neutral. We'll do each position 1 more time. Back to neutral. Front and lower leg out. Bring that leg back in. Extend that leg out. Now we're going to go to do some things for your upper body. I'm going to let a few more people in. So now we're going to do, one hand will remain underneath your forehead. The other hand is out to the side. This is also where you pay attention to what your toes and tops of your feet are doing. So be aware that you can change the position. I was in that position where I had the force going into the tops of my feet, pushing my toes into a more pointed position. Now I'm going to bring my tips of my toes up, dorsiflexing my ankles. I'm going to lift the arm out to the side. We're in the single side T position. Palm stays face down. Keep the chin down, holding nice and steady. Back down, relax that arm. Or stay with the same side, lift up and hold. Hold it nice and steady, nice isometric, holding the back of the arm nice and tight. Then relax. We'll switch which hand is underneath your forehead. Opposite arm out to the side. That single side T position. We'll lift that hand and arm up, palm faces down. Keeping the elbow extended, keep your chin tucked. Keep the back of the elbow extended. And relax. Lift up once again, staying with the same side. Keep that arm long, trying to reach through the fingertips. Palms stay facing down as you lift that arm up. And relax. All right, we're bringing back both hands underneath your forehead. We're going back to the leg that is with the knee bent. We're going to lift your thigh, keeping your top of the bottom of the heel, lift the heel towards the ceiling, towards the sky, as you lift your knee and thigh up off the floor. Holding here nice and steady. Then down. We're going to let that leg go to extension. Bridge that knee and thigh. from the toes to the hip. Then relax that knee, bend the knee, taking the heel towards the ceiling, lift that thigh and knee up, holding it here steady. Keep that chin tucked. It's easy to let that head start extending. And down, take the foot down, extending the leg, and relax. Now we'll switch to the other side. So you bend the other leg. You're going to lift that thigh and knee up off the floor, taking the heel towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Keep your chin tucked. Hold it nice and steady. Drop that thigh back down, foot and lower leg to the floor. Bridge of the knee, tightening the front of the thigh. Drop it back down, bend your knee, flexing, and then lift that knee and thigh up through the heel towards the sky. Scanning, how does the rest of your body feel? Back down, toes to the floor. Bridge that thigh, tightening up the front of your thigh, the knee lifts up off the floor. And back down. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and move to lying on your back. So go ahead and move that bolster away. We're going to lie down. We're going to do a nice active stretch. So you're going to have your arms up overhead. And mine don't fully touch the ground when they're up overhead. There's just a lot of tightness through my front of my shoulders and everything. But what we're going to do is you're going to reach through your toes, through the tops of your fingers, trying to get as long, reach those hands, press the shoulders and arms up, trying to get length through your body. And then relax. We're going to bring your feet flat to the floor. We're going to bring one knee up at a time. And bring the other knee up, and then we're going to curl into a ball. Try to bring the tops of your feet, tops of your toes up towards your forehead, forehead towards your feet, squeezing everything. Then lower back down, taking one foot to the floor, extend one leg out at a time. Reach those hands up overhead, and reach, trying to get distance between the toes towards the heel, from the heels. Tips of your fingers. Getting length. And then bring the arms back down, one foot to the floor at a time. Bring one knee up at a time. And then we're just bringing your head and shoulders up, trying to create an active ball. Trying to stretch your back out as we compress and shorten everything on the front side. Tops of your feet. Feeling the front of your shins tightening up. Drop down one leg at a time. Extend those legs back out. Reach up overhead. Getting length and distance from the body. Then bring those arms back down, one foot up at a time. Bring one knee and one leg up. Then we're going to do the other leg. Curling up. Hold it, squeeze everything to the middle, and down. Now we're going to extend only one leg out, keeping the opposite leg staying foot flat to the floor. The leg that is out, we're going to slide it out to the side. You're going to keep your toes and knee pointing up. We're going to lift that foot, keeping a small space in your low back. We'll do 3 isometric holds here. Holding it nice and steady, not allowing anything from your pelvis and your spine to move. Trying to maintain that position. And then lowering the leg. That leg is out to the side. We're going to lift it up once again, keeping the toes and knee pointing up. Keep that thigh nice and tight, knee extended. Keeping that small space in your back. Lower down. Relax it completely, kind of shake that leg out. You can slide it back in, but when we do this third and final lift, we do want that leg back out to the corner edge of the mat. As we lift up, keep the toes and knee pointing upward. Again, trying to avoid any shifting of your spine. Keep that knee extended. Lower the leg. Bring that leg back in. We'll do the other side. Extend the leg out. Slide it out to the edge of the mat. Keeping the toes and knee pointing up towards the ceiling. And lifting your leg up. Holding it nice and steady. Down. 2 more lifts. Completely relaxing. Lift. As that knee extended. Lower, relax completely, kind of shake it out. But again, we're doing this third and final lift with that leg out to the side of the mat. Lift up and hold. And lower. Alright, bringing that leg back up and in. So now both feet are flat. We're going to take your arms, elbows out to the side, so your hands and wrists are right above your elbows with your elbows bent 90. We're going to let your hands and forearms rotate back towards the floor, just to where they feel tight, which is for me is about right here. And then I'm bringing my fingertips back up to the ceiling. We're going to do that 5 times. Just nice, gentle. Let it roll back, which is external rotation, just till you feel tightness. Do that 3 more times. Nice. Blending the control to get a popping throughout your shoulders. Do 1 more. Letting it rotate. Bring the fingertips back up to the ceiling. From here, we're going to do a pressing motion. We're going to extend your arms towards the ceiling. Your hands and elbows get extended. You get this little extra reach with the shoulder protraction, and then relax. The arms come down with the elbows still extended. Take the arms out to the side. Again, press up. The hands and elbows are extended, but there's still that little extra reach, which is your shoulder blades wrapping around your rib cage. And then back down. Elbows and back of the arms to the floor. Press back up. Elbows are extended. Reach the shoulders with your protraction of the shoulder blades. Drop those arms back down. 1 more. Press up. Reach. And relax. Alright, from there, now we're going to extend one leg out. The opposite leg is going to go to the top. So you're taking the heel or the bottom of the foot towards the top of the thigh and knee. And then the knee is pointing, both knees are pointing up. As we let this leg that is on top rotate out to the side, the outer edge of that foot starts to make contact with the pressure of that opposite, the leg, the thigh and kneecap. And then as you bring that leg back up and in, the bottom of the foot touches that area of the kneecap. We're squeezing everything to the middle. Do this 3 times. Nice and gentle opening, not forcing it. Bring that knee back up and in. Just nice smooth motion, not forcing it. Finding where does your body allow you to move, where do you start to feel tightness and cramping. Back up and in, everything is squeezing to the middle. Bring that foot back down. Bring this opposite foot, heel, towards that thigh and knee. The bottom of the foot is touching that area. The knee is pointing up. As you let this knee fall out to the side, it goes to the outer edge of that foot on top of this leg. We're holding it here, not forcing it. Back up, smooth control. Everything is squeezing to the middle. Back out. Back up and in, the bottom of the foot makes contact, everything squeezes to the middle. 1 more, let it go out to the side. back up, and relax. Now you're going to take your legs out straight. We're going to take both feet and knees in the same direction. So you're going to take them over to the right side, and then you're going to bring them back to the middle, pausing in the middle, and then take them over to the left. Feeling what that's doing through your hips and your spine. Back to neutral. Take those feet and ankle across. Just windshield wiping them over to the other side. Back up to neutral, and then take them over to that left side. Do one more each direction. So take them over to the right, knees and toes. Try not to let the torso move a whole lot. And back to the middle. Take them over to the other side. And relax. Now we're going to let your toes and knee go in opposite directions so they're both pointing out. Back to neutral. And then we're going to have them rotate towards each other. Now we'll get a whole lot of rotation in either direction. Back to neutral. Toes and knee out. Feel what that does to your spine for more extension. Back to neutral. Point the toes and knees inward. Back to neutral, toes and knee out. Back to neutral, toes and knees going towards each other. Can you do it with keeping your legs straight and relax? All right, we're going to move to side lying. And so this is where you can take your index finger and your thumb and make a little C and place it over the top of your ilium, your hip bone. And so that varies for everybody where it's located as far as relative to where you wear your pants. The other thing to be aware of is where's this bottom arm? Where are you resting it when you're resting your head on top of it? Do you have it more overhead or more out in front? The less strenuous place for most people's shoulder is more out in front. What we want to monitor is when we lift this bottom leg that we're not moving a whole lot through our spine, that we're keeping it all through this lower leg. So what we're doing is we're just going to lift up and hold it nice and steady. We're also trying to want to avoid any rolling forward and backward as you lift. We're going to do 3 holds here, nice and steady. Lower that leg with control, relaxing completely. We're going to lift back up for our second of 3 holds. Trying to maintain this neutral hip position with the knees and toes pointing forward. You can even point your toes away. Pull your toes back up. We're going to lower that leg completely. We have a final lift. Lift and hold. Again, avoid any rolling back and forth as you lift that leg or lower it. Again, you can play around with the ankle position. And then lower that leg. We'll switch to the other side. Again, making that little C with the index finger and your thumb, placing it on top of your hip bone, the ilium. Again, paying attention what this bottom arm is doing. We're going to lift this leg up, hold it nice and steady. Even though we're lifting, and that often wants to kind of bring that foot closer to the head, you also want to try to think about keeping length between the bottom of the foot and the top of your head. Lower this leg. Try to maintain neutral with the hip position, so toes and knee pointing forward. Lift up once again. Okay, you play around the ankle position. Lower that leg. We're going to lift up once again. Final lift. You might feel this on this outside posterior part of your glutes, targeting those hip muscles, and then back down. All right, now we're going to lie on your back. We're going to bring one leg up. You're going to place your hand on front of the thigh, but we're not actively pulling up. We're just keeping it there as a point of reference. You're going to point your toes, and then pull the toes up. Point the toes away from the body, as long as you're not getting cramping into your calves, and pull the toes up. And when you pull the toes up, Try not to pull any more through that leg. Trying to keep it all in that ankle. Push the toes down. And then pull back up. And then we'll go do the other side. Drop that leg down. Bring the other leg up. Again, just taking the top of the hand there for a point of reference. Point the toes as long as you don't get any cramping. Pull the toes up. Point the toes down and away. Curling your toes down. Pull the toes up. I'm starting to get a little cramping on that side. We'll do that 2 more times each position. Point. Curl the toes. Pull the toes up to that ankle. 1 more. Point. Squeeze. Feel on the back of the calf. And then pull the toes up. That area that was just tight. Now pulling your toes up. Can you feel a nice stretch? And relax. Alright. From there we're going to move to a seated position. Now again, you can sit here with, like right now I'm sitting with my hips underneath my knees. And so if I bring that pillow, that bolster that we started with, and if I just sit on it, even that just elevates just a little bit, which is still helpful. But even for my body, I would probably choose to sit on a little bit more of a lifted bolster just to continue to get my hips more comfortable in a more comfortable position, which is my pelvis above my knees. And so, as you kind of explore with things that you need to do to put your body in a better position for when you're sitting with your legs crossed, which then gives us an opportunity of moving your upper body with keeping your lower body completely stable. So one thing we're going to do is you're going to bring your hands across your body, fingertips to each collarbone, and we're going to turn as far as you can, and we're going to bring this inside shoulder towards your knees. And so you're just leaning down, but you're also trying to keep your hips in contact with the floor or the cushion, whatever you're sitting on. Then you're going to sit back up, turn back to the middle. We're going to turn to the same direction. Take that inside shoulder down towards your knees, towards your lower leg, your feet. Back up, rotate out. Now we're going to go to the opposite. So we're going to turn as far as you can the opposite direction. Take that same side shoulder down towards your feet. Don't allow your hip or pelvis to lift up off the floor. Sit up nice and tall. Rotate out of it. We'll do 1 more. Rotate. Same side shoulder down. Sit up nice and tall. Move out of it. Nice. Excellent job. Thanks for joining me for our flow workout today.